Hi everybody, my name is John Plump. I used to work for the Airline by Jay Sink. I started with the company in 2005 when Joe Sink hired me as a equipment technician. I've been working on the airlines ever since, forever, ever since '05. Um, I just wanted to start a couple of videos about a couple of their products. I'm going to show videos on servicing them. Um, I just wanted to introduce myself before I get started and all that. And I'm new to filming, so you'll have to bear with me. But when I had started with the airline, they had two compressors. They had the XL compressor and the Dash 4 compressor. The XL compressor replaced the C360 compressor, which was one of the originals. The original compressor that came out was a C360, a double head, which is just a double head of the Dash 4, and the Dash 4, of course. Now the good thing about the two of those were a lot of parts are interchangeable, except the connecting rods on the C360 because they were narrower with the counterweights and stuff. But still a great compressor. The C360 put out 16 CFM at 0 psi. The Dash 4 put out 9 CFM at 0 psi. Now, Joe got rid of the double head C360 and went with the XL compressor because he believed that it was less work, I believe, at the time, where that the XL compressor was going to be better than the C360, which is wrong. The XL compressor puts out 11 CFM. I've done much testing on these with flow meters and stuff for years and years. These are true facts. I can prove it if I have to with video, and I may. But that was a bad mistake on Joe's part because the C360 puts out 16 CFM. No compressor on the market still currently does not put out 16 CFM at 0 psi. No compressor did or does. So I'm not really sure Joe's thinking in that, and we will never know. But yeah, I think that was a huge mistake. But the C360 in my eyes is and still is the best compressor on the market if you have one. Now, Thomas discontinued the C360 parts 10 years ago maybe or so. You can't buy connecting rods for it from Thomas. You really can't buy anything for them anymore from Thomas. If you have a C360 and you wanted to rebuild it, you still can. There is somebody that makes connecting rods for them. So if you were to call the airline and say, listen, I have a C360, I have a broken connecting rod, they're going to say, we can't help you, you're going to need to buy a new compressor. You don't have to do that. You can contact me and I can do whatever, I can get you the parts. Now, again, like I said, then you have the Dash 4, which is the same thing as the C360. A Dash 4 is two Dash 4s, makes a C360. So a lot of the parts are interchangeable. I have a C360 that was dropped off yesterday. Somebody shipped it to me, UPS. And it's an original. It's from, I want to say 2001. And it's still in pretty good shape. Right now I'm doing this video just to kind of introduce myself, go over a couple things, and then I'm going to shoot some videos on the disassembly and the rebuild of the C360. And I'll give you some pointers. One of the pointers, something I kind of, John Gorey tried to get me in trouble for this. He's the owner, the current owner. When mini season came around, and mini season is only good for 2 days, so if you have a compressor and you go down there, you have a part that broke, you're pretty much screwed. You're not doing anything because by the time the part gets there, mini season's over. That's why I tell people all the time, if you're going to go down there and you don't really feel like taking your compressor apart, buy a extra valve plate assembly because that's usually what goes wrong on them. And then when you do is you buy an extra valve plate assembly. No matter what compressor you have, you can replace it within minutes, get back to diving, and then when you get home, you can rebuild the one you just took apart. The one that went bad with flappers or so, or whatever goes wrong. But you always should carry a spare backup valve plate assembly. So one day I got a call from somebody down there in the Keys, and he said that he had a double head, and he said a connecting rod froze up. And I said, well, do you know which one? And he said, yeah, it's the right side. As you're looking at the compressor, it's the right side. So I was sitting there thinking for a second, and I've never really told anybody this before, but I said, you can still use that. I said, here's what you do. Now there's a crossover tube. I said, take the crossover tube off. It's a 3/8 NPT, National Pipe Thread. Plug it on the left side. It's a street T. Just plug it. Take the tube out. Pull the head off the right side. Take a hammer and smash the connecting rod. Just the arm. Just smash it. And put the head back on, because you don't want anything to get back in there. And I said, now what you just did was you just converted your double head to a single head. You just made a C360 into a Dash 4 is what you did. And he was ecstatic. He couldn't believe it. He went diving, perfect, called me back, couldn't thank me enough. But yet John Gorey told me don't ever do that again. Well, I did. I did it a lot of times because I believe in helping people. And Gorey's thinking is sell compressors, which I get from a business owner's point of view. I get that. But you know what? You still got to take care of your people that bought the compressors from before. So the gentleman called me back. He was just ecstatic, and it worked perfect. So then all he has to do is he can do one of two things. You can leave it a Dash 4, or you can try to find a connecting rod and make it a double head again. So I'm not really sure what he did, but you can do that. Even if you had a C360 and you don't want to rebuild it, you don't have to buy a whole compressor. All you have to do is buy the current connecting rod for the Dash 4. You buy a Dash 4 connecting rod. Three things. You buy a Dash 4 connecting rod. You buy a spacer and a spring. Spacer, spring, Dash 4 connecting rod, all will fit right on your C360, and you don't have to, you just rebuilt a new compressor again, but it's a Dash 4 instead of a double head. Real easy, save lots of money, and I'm here to help you. If anybody has questions, contact me. Let me know. I've been doing this. I lost count since '05. I work on airlines, brownies, hookamax, super snorkels, gas compressors, and I'll take care of you. I don't stick it to nobody. I'll take care of you, and I'll tell you ways. If there's ways to fix things, or I don't want to say cut corners, but there's always ways you can figure something out and make things work. So I'll end the video here, and then the next one I'm going to shoot is going to be the C360 I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to figure something out about where I might start a YouTube page for my videos, and I'll put some information in there too for part numbers and stuff. If you wanted to, let's just say you had a C360 and you just didn't want to mess with it, don't throw the housing away. Keep the heads. Everything's reusable. You don't need to toss it, and don't let anybody tell you to toss it. And also another thing is, if anybody's looking to buy a used compressor, you should don't buy it unless you're able to take it apart and look at it, because people will want a lot of money for them used, and a lot of times they don't maintain them, and you may have busted head bolts. You might break head bolts trying to pull the head off, and if that's the case, they're stainless bolts. You're never gonna get them out. I mean, I'm not saying you never will. You can, but it's a lot of work. You got to make sure you don't screw up, so you don't want to buy somebody else's headache. You can also contact me about that, and I'll be happy. All my phone calls and conversations are free. It can't hurt to talk to me. And a lot of you people know me from doing the boat shows from '05 to 2018. So I've been to all of them. So I'll say goodbye now. Oh, by the way, my nickname is Wooly. I go by Wooly. My little thing is Wooly's World, because it is my world. But I'm here to help everybody. So I'll end it here, see if I can figure out how to do this. And contact me if you have any questions. All right, have a great day. Thank you. Bye.